Look, I know what you're thinking. Another electric SUV, another $100,000 living room on wheels that claims to save the planet while doing 0 to 60 in the time it takes to sneeze. You've seen the press releases, you've seen the static B-roll, and you've heard the corporate buzzwords. But stay with me, because what I'm sitting in right now isn't just another EV. This is the 2026 Lucid Gravity. And after spending a week living in it, and I do mean living in it, I've realized it has a very specific, almost hidden personality that every other reviewer seems to be missing. They talk about the 440-mile range and the 800 horsepower, which are insane, don't get me wrong, but there is a fundamental glitch in how we've been looking at this car. It's not just a bigger Lucid Air, it's something much weirder and much more impressive. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you why this might be the most human car ever built, and also why it might be a total nightmare for some of you who aren't ready for the future to arrive this quickly. Usually, when you drive a 7-seater SUV, you feel like you're captaining a cruise ship. It's heavy, it leans in the corners, and you're mostly just trying to not hit a curb or spill your latte. But the Gravity? It's a liar. Lucid used their Sapphire DNA here, and even though this weighs nearly 6,000 pounds, it handles like a sports sedan. We're talking about a 0.24 drag coefficient. That's slipperier than most supercars, let alone a brick-shaped SUV. When you put this into sprint mode, the air suspension hunkers down, the steering gets heavy, and the rear axle steering kicks in. You can dive into a corner, and it doesn't just handle it, it rotates. It actually wants to play. And that's actually the first problem I found. It's so fast, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, that your passengers will genuinely hate you. I've had 3 people get carsick this week because the power is so immediate and the cabin is so eerily quiet that your brain doesn't realize how fast you're actually moving. There's no engine roar to warn your inner ear that you're about to break the speed limit. It's a super SUV disguised as a family hauler, and the gap between how it looks and how it moves is enough to give you whiplash. It's the first time I've driven an SUV where I forgot I had 2 rows of seats behind me.
Now let's talk about this Clearview cockpit. You've seen the photos, but sitting here is a visceral experience. This 34-inch 6K curved OLED display is floating, literally floating above the steering wheel. Most cars put the screen behind the wheel, forcing you to look through the spokes, but Lucid moved it up so your eyes never really leave the road. It feels like you're flying a private jet through a glass canopy. Below that, you have the pilot panel in the center. It's a secondary touchscreen, but it's actually tactile where it needs to be, and you can swipe things from the bottom screen to the top screen like you're in Minority Report. But here is the unique bit that no one is talking about, the sanctuary modes. We live in a world where everyone is stressed out, right? You press a button on this screen and the car transforms into a forest in Oregon or a beach in the Mediterranean. The 22-speaker Surreal Sound Pro system plays hyper-realistic nature sounds. The 4-zone climate control mimics a gentle breeze, and the seats start a massage program designed to lower your heart rate. I actually stayed in the car for 20 minutes after getting home yesterday just to finish a meditation session. It's not just a car, it's a therapy session on 23-inch wheels. It makes every other luxury interior feel like it's trying too hard with old-fashioned buttons and shiny plastic. Space-wise, Lucid did something clever. They didn't just make it big, they made it smart. Most 3-row SUVs have a penalty box in the back where only kids or people you don't like can sit. In the Gravity, I can fit 3 actual full-size adults in the back row, and they won't want to sue me afterward. The second-row seats are on long sliders, meaning you can prioritize limousine legroom or cargo space depending on the day. But the real clickbait feature, the thing that gets everyone at the grocery store staring, is the frunk. It's 8 cubic feet, which is big for a trunk, but Lucid designed it to be a frunk seat. When you're parked, the entire front nose of the car lifts up, and it's basically a leather-lined bench for tailgating. It's the ultimate flex at a soccer game or a campsite. You're sitting in the nose of your car, protected by the hood like a little roof, watching the sunset with a built-in 120V outlet to plug in a coffee maker or a projector. It turns the car into a destination, not just a way to get there. It's these little human touches, the realization that people use their cars for more than just driving, that makes the Gravity feel special.
We have to talk about the Lucid magic under the floor, because this is where the Gravity kills the competition. This is built on a 900V+ architecture. Everyone else, Tesla included, is mostly playing with 400 or 800. What does that actually mean in the real world? It means when you pull up to a 350 kilowatt charger, you can add 200 miles of range in about 15 minutes. That's a bathroom break and a quick snack. You're back on the road before your kids have even finished complaining that they're bored. And with 440 miles of EPA estimated range, the range anxiety that everyone loves to talk about is officially dead. I took this on a 300-mile round trip into the mountains this weekend. I didn't charge once. I didn't even think about charging. The efficiency is what's staggering. Lucid's motors are the size of a carry-on suitcase, but produce the power of a freight train. They are getting more miles out of every kilowatt than any other manufacturer on the planet. While other brands are just throwing bigger, heavier batteries at the problem, Lucid is using better engineering. It's the difference between a sledgehammer and a scalpel. So, is it perfect? If I told you it was, I'd be lying. The catch I mentioned at the start? It's the price and the learning curve. This Grand Touring model starts at around $94,900, and if you want the fully loaded versions, you're looking at serious luxury money. But more than that, it's a very digital experience. If you're the kind of person who hates using an iPad, you might struggle here. Everything from the side mirrors to the steering wheel adjustment is handled through the screens. And because it's so software heavy, there are tiny ghosts in the machine. Occasionally, the door handles, which are motorized and flush, take a split second too long to realize you're standing there with the key. Sometimes the infotainment system wants to update at the most inconvenient time. It's a rolling computer, and like any computer, it can be a bit chatty with warnings and pings. If you want a simple analog SUV where you just turn a key and go, this is going to feel like overkill. It's a car that demands you learn how to use it. At the end of the day, the 2026 Lucid Gravity is a statement. It's a statement that the SUV doesn't have to be a boring, lumbering box. It's a statement that American engineering can actually outclass the Germans when it comes to interior fit and finish. And most importantly, it's a statement that electric cars can have a soul. When you're carving up a canyon road with 6 of your friends, or sitting in the frunk watching a movie, or just letting the sanctuary mode wash away a bad day at the office, you realize this isn't just a vehicle, it's a space. If you have the money and you're ready to let go of the gas pump forever, there isn't another SUV on the market, gas or electric, that offers this specific blend of performance, space, and sheer cool factor. It has effectively made the Tesla Model X look like a piece of aging tech from a previous decade. It's the SUV for the person who loves to drive but was told they had to grow up and buy a family car. Well, the Gravity proves you can have both. You can be the responsible parent and the person who owns the fastest, most high-tech machine on the block. Just maybe buy some motion sickness bags for the kids in the third row before you show off that 0 to 60 time.